mess of adversaries. Without them, America's technological revolution stalls and national security becomes vulnerable. And when America becomes vulnerable, the entire free world becomes vulnerable. So how has Brazil's relationship with the United States been since the man that Joe Biden and the American deep state worked so hard to bring to power through control? Lula and his party are openly anti-American. He speaks publicly about undermining the dollar as the global currency. He has aligned Brazil with China on a massive scale. He has opposite American interests on every single item of foreign policy, publicly criticizing President Trump's actions on Venezuela, Iran, Cuba, and the fight against drug trafficking. Most shocking of all, he has used heavy lobbying with certain U.S. advisors to prevent Brazil's two largest drug cartels from being classified as terrorist organizations. Yes, even according to a New York Times article published yesterday, the president of my country lobbies America to protect terrorist organizations that oppress my people, launder money, and export drugs and weapons to the United States and to the world. And just 2 weeks ago, as proof of how bad things have gotten, Brazil under Lula canceled the visa of Dr. Darren Beatty, senior advisor of Brazil policy at the U.S. State Department, the highest American diplomatic position for dealing with Brazil. Something unprecedented in our history. All because Dr. Beatty asked to visit my father in prison and evaluate his conditions. Yes, Brazil is now expelling American diplomats. Now, I understand President Trump is very busy making America great again and must maintain institutional relationships with leaders of every country, regardless of his personal preferences. And I know that sometimes, when surrounded by advisors with their own interests, the pictures gets blurred. But I'm confident that the greatest deal maker in history can easily see who Brazil's real allies are. But let me share the good news. I told you, we are still fighting. And at the end of this last year, my father gave me the greatest mission of my life, to run for president in his place in October 2026 elections. And let me look you in the eyes and tell you, we will win. I'm leading the polls across the country. I'm building a massive coalition. Business leaders tired of corruption, young people hungry for opportunity, families desperate to protect their children from drugs and crime. I'm building a movement Brazil has not seen in years. A cutting-edge conservative project that brings together the old and the new generations that will bring prosperity to the Brazilian nation and finish the cycle of misery and violence that the left is living as a cursed legacy. Just last week, even the prediction markets started putting me as the favorite to win the election. And when the Brazilian people, will once again have a president who fights against global elite interests, against the radical environmental agenda, against the woke agenda that destroys families, against drug cartels, and above all, fights for freedom and traditional values. A president who proclaims without fear that Jesus Christ is our Lord. 2.0 is being much better than Trump 1.0, right? Well, Bolsonaro 2.0 will also be much better, thanks to the experience gained during my father's presidency. But America will also have its ally back. Brazil and America were made for each other. We share the same Judeo-Christian values, and we have what the other needs. America needs secure supply chains for critical materials, a reliable partner in the hemisphere, and a massive market for American goods and services. And Brazil needs three things: help fighting transnational drug cartels, investments, and technology. There is no nation in the world that can help us with this better than the United States. And we are aligned. No one can stop us. This is the fork in the road that America faces. Either you have the most powerful ally in the hemisphere, or an antagonist that allies with America's adversaries and makes any American policy for the region impossible. So, some of you are asking how you can help. I will ask you directly. We don't want interference in Brazilian elections like the Biden administration did to bring Lula to power. As I said, I'm going to win because it's the will of my people. But for that will to be preserved, we need free and fair elections. And this is a great challenge. If our people can express themselves freely on social media, and if votes are counted correctly, we will win. My appeal here, not only to the United States, but to the entire free world, is this: watch Brazil's elections with enormous attention. Learn and understand our process. Monitor our people's freedom of expression, and apply diplomatic pressure so that our institutions function properly. Instead of the Biden administration interfering in our elections to install a socialist who hates America, applying diplomatic pressure for free and fair elections based on values of American origin. That's a good chance of foreign policy for the region, right? My father sits in prison tonight for the same beliefs you hold, but his sacrifice will not be in vain. Next year, when I return to this stage as President of Brazil, we won't just be celebrating another election victory. We will be celebrating the birth of the strongest conservative alliance in Western Hemisphere history. The beginning of a new era where freedom wins, where our children inherit a hemisphere worth defending. God bless America. God bless Brazil. Thank you so much.
America's Voice coverage of CPAC USA 2026 continues right after this.
This was the last thing my Charlie ever wrote. The message of Jesus changes everything, changes your life, your choices, your eternity. And Charlie wanted to leave behind something that would point people to Christ, not to fame or power, just truth.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
And my husband called his final book, Stop in the Name of God, because resting in God's grace is what our world has forgotten to do. So just stop and listen, believe and rest, because this is Charlie's final and greatest message to all of us.
I'm actually finishing a book. So I actually don't work one day out of the week. So I take a Sabbath every Saturday. Turn my phone off, no work, just kids, just family. It's an amazing blessing. Every Saturday, totally off. It's amazing how much work you can get done in 6 days, though.
I believe that honoring the Sabbath is the commandment
that allows you to honor the other 9 commandments. When you're honoring the Sabbath, it's easier to have no other gods before God because that day is built in time as a temple, as a sanctuary to put God first, to not have idols. If you are feeling overrun by society, you might be feeling depressed or anxious, turn your phone off for one day. No social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically. You can hang out with friends, you can go for a walk, but don't work for one day. That is a day for worship. That is a day for the Lord. That is a day to go be with God. That is a day to read your Bible and be out of the busyness and the hurriedness and the noise of this world. I could be traveling for 5 or 6 days, but if I at least get one good Sabbath with my family, it charges all back up.
Call, scan, or go online to support TPUSA and receive your copy of Charlie's final book.
It's time to stand up and save with Insta Seal by Bell & Howell, the world's first vertical vacuum sealing system designed to save you money. Insta Seal removes the air completely, extending freshness up to 6 times longer. Now that's saving. Get the complete Insta Seal system. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-308-6802. That's 1-800-308-6802 or order online at buyinstaseal.com.
You're watching Real America's Voice, live from CPAC USA 2026 in the Lone Star State.
Cultures are not morally equivalent. Whereas Christianity is a religion of peace, of reconciliation, of love, Islam is a religion of the sword, and it stands in direct, irreconcilable conflict with the maximum individual freedom at the heart of Western civilization and our Christian culture. Our rights derive from our Creator, not from any man-made supremacist code. America gladly welcomes those who come to assimilate and worship freely according to conscience, but we must never accommodate a system that demands the submission of every surrounding society. And Sharia explicitly requires precisely that. Our nation was founded on a simple but revolutionary idea that we would be governed not by kings, not by clerics, not by distant authorities, but by a constitution written by the people and for the people. And that document remains the supreme law of this land. Let me be clear at the outset. America is a nation of religious freedom. That includes Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, and people of every faith or no faith. The First Amendment guarantees that right, and we must defend it always. But religious freedom does not mean replacing American law with any other system of governance, period. In North Texas and across the country, there are conversations about how international or religious legal traditions interact with our legal system. These are complex issues, and they deserve serious, thoughtful discussion. Not fear-mongering, not rhetoric, but clarity. But our Constitution is not optional. Our Constitution is not optional. It is not one system among many. It is the foundation upon which all other rights rest. When foreigners come to this country, they bring their traditions, cultures, and beliefs that are woven then into the fabric of America. Traditionally, assimilation into our civic framework, our shared commitment to constitutional law unites us as one nation. We cannot have parallel legal systems. We cannot have ambiguity about which laws govern our courts, our contracts, or our communities. We cannot. The rule of law must remain consistent, transparent, and rooted in the Constitution. G.K. Chesterton said, "A civilization is not destroyed by wicked men. It is destroyed by weak men who cannot defend what is good." So the question before us is simple. Will we defend our constitutional republic? Will we ensure that every generation not only understands their rights, but the source of their rights? Will we stand firm in the belief that American law, rooted in liberty, the value of every person, and individual dignity must remain the governing standard of this country? I believe the people in this room will, but it is incumbent upon us to sound the alarm so the rest of America understands what is at stake. I believe here at CPAC, among leaders, activists, and citizens from across this nation, there is a shared commitment to preserving the constitutional order that has made America the greatest nation in history. I'm not so sure about others. With less than a minute to go, I'm going to move on. As I've said repeatedly, Sharia has no place in America. The urgency of this fight was laid bare in the opening days of March when a disturbing wave of Islamic-inspired attacks struck our soil. On March 1st in Austin, March saw multiple attacks linked to Islamic extremists in New York City, Michigan, Virginia, all in March, all in 1 month of March. The enemy is inside the gates, driven by a supremacist ideology that claims divine authority over our Constitution and justifies violence against those who refuse submission. And nowhere is this seen more than the treatment of women. Under Sharia, women are relegated to a second-class status. It explicitly permits wife beating as discipline. Imams have preached that women shall feel honored by beatings or liken them to livestock, cows, sheep, horses, or mules created solely for men's use. Sharia codifies female genital mutilation, forced child marriage, honor killings, half inheritance for women, and testimony worth half that of a man. In nations embracing these rules, from Iran's regime of terror to places where adultery brings stoning, apostasy death, or public floggings, women live in chains. Even more horrifying, Sharia permits the rape and enslavement of non-Muslim women, with some scholars openly declaring it permissible under the Quran and Hadith. These are not some fringe opinions. They're preached publicly. Don't believe this is happening? Tell that to the thousands of British teenage girls groomed, plied with alcohol, gang raped by Muslim gangs, and then arrested by the police for being drunk in public, while the rapists go free. Let me repeat, the victims are arrested. This is Sharia. If you come here to be governed by the Constitution, not to replace it. That's not controversial. That's not extreme. That's American. And if we are not willing to say that clearly, boldly, and unapologetically, then we are surrendering the very foundation of our republic. We will not do that. Not in Texas, not in America. That is why 60 of us in the U.S. Congress, 60 strong, now form the Sharia-Free America Caucus, representing 25 states. 25 states. But I ask you, be aware, fellow patriots, get engaged against this extremist threat to our Constitution. Sign the Ban Sharia Pledge, which you can find at bansharia.com. Over my 25 years wearing the cloth of the nation's military, then as a county judge here in North Texas, and now as a member of Congress, I swore an oath to protect and defend the Constitution multiple times. I cannot and will not allow our most precious founding document to be replaced. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
Now is the moment to put your brand in front of an engaged, loyal audience through Real America's Voice. When you advertise on Real America's Voice, you're not just running an ad, you're partnering with trusted voices like Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and other influential hosts. Backed by millions of monthly listeners.
What's happening? Because of a Real Voice, man. I watch it all the time.
Real America's Voice rocks.
Real America's Voice gives sponsors the chance to put their product front and center, displayed on screen and highlighted by our anchors during exclusive segments and live events.
Head to freetrumpknife.com.
This means your brand becomes part of the conversation as it happens.
Secure your spot before it's too late.
Join us today and make your brand part of the news conversation that America's viewers trust. Real America's Voice, where your message is seen, heard, and remembered. Real America's Voice is growing, and now it's all in one place. Introducing the new and improved RAV app, built for access, community, and choice, not paywalls. Here's the key. RAV is still free to watch. No sign-in, no membership required. Your favorite live streams, breaking coverage, and video on demand are all right there. Free, just like always.
For the War Room Posse, we have to be a force multiplier on this. We have to stick the landing.
In the White House, in the Oval Office, you're crushing it, my friend.
And if you want more, the members section is your backstage pass. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes photos and videos, insider moments from the studio and the field, and early access to new content before it goes public. Members can also unlock special experiences like virtual meet and greets, member-only auctions, and select event access, plus commercial-free viewing of certain shows inside the app. It's not just an app, it's a community. Download the RAV app today. Find it in the App Store and Google Play. At Real America's Voice, we know that you want to be a part of something bigger. That's why we've teamed up with AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, to build a real community of folks who care about faith and our country's future.
There is no force on earth that can stop us from saving our country.
Want to be a part of this movement? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen right now. That's right. Grab your phone and scan the QR code to join the AMAC and Real America's Voice family today. By scanning the QR code, you'll unlock exclusive content, connect with like-minded Americans, and be first in line for events that celebrate our shared values. So don't wait. Scan the QR code. Join us today and become part of a community that stands for faith, family, and freedom.
Real rights, they come from God.
With AMAC and Real America's Voice. Go ahead. Scan the QR code now. Live from CPAC USA 2026 in Texas, this is Real America's Voice.
History isn't written in the classroom. It's forged in the fight for freedom. At CPAC, you won't just watch the movement, you'll help lead it. From strategy sessions to national stages, your work will matter. This is where passion meets purpose and where interns become leaders. Step up, stand out, join CPAC.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome CPAC board member Jerry Daniels.
Thank you. So the attack on our embassy in Benghazi was due to a YouTube video. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Russia, Russia, Russia. The Affordable Care Act. J6, of course, was an insurrection. The COVID shots were safe and effective. The Inflation Reduction Act. There is no election fraud. You're simply an election denier. And of course, the southern border is secure. These are just some of the lies the left has been peddling for the last several years with the help of the mainstream media. The most recent big lie, we are told that the efforts to strengthen election integrity, efforts like the Save America Act, are somehow comparable to one of the darkest chapters in our history. That requiring identification to vote or proof of citizenship is not about fairness and security, but about exclusion. Chuck Schumer has labeled the Save America Act as Jim Crow 2.0. Jim Crow is not a random comment. He's stating that very clearly that voter ID and proof of citizenship to vote in America is racist, specifically against Black Americans. It's one of the most racist comments I've ever heard. Chuck, are you telling me that every Black American are too dumb to get an ID? Or are you stating it's a socioeconomic issue and that poor Black Americans can't get an ID? Either way, your comment is ignorant, racist, and not fact-based. Due to population differences, there are literally twice as many white Americans living in poverty in the United States as there are Black Americans. White Americans living in poverty that receive some sort of government assistance is estimated to be between 50 and 70%. To receive that assistance, each of those individuals had to show an ID. In the Black community, it's estimated that between 60 and 80% of those living in poverty receive some sort of government assistance. Based on this information alone, you could argue Black Americans living in poverty have no issue getting an ID and might even have IDs at a higher rate than poverty-stricken white Americans. To suggest that requiring identification is inherently discriminatory is to underestimate the capability, dignity of millions of Americans, citizens of every background, Black, white, Hispanic, rich, poor, navigating daily life with identification requirements. My point is this: virtually all Americans want fair elections in the United States where only U.S. citizens can vote in our elections, and no amount of gaslighting or lies in front of a microphone will change that. To the Republicans, you have a chance to prove that to all Americans that we live in a representative republic, where our elected officials serve the will of the people. This topic is not controversial. 179 nations around the world require voter ID. America is the exception. Is Chuck Schumer suggesting that all the countries are racist? That's preposterous. 36 states in the U.S. already require ID to vote, while only 10 do not require any form of ID. Does anyone in this room find it odd that the states that do not require any form of ID are almost all Democrat-run states? States like California, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Maine, and Connecticut? At its core, this issue rises above party lines. Americans want confidence in their elections, they want transparency, and they want fairness. And above all, they want to know that their voices matter, that their vote is not diluted or disregarded. If the Democratic Party was concerned American elections were not truly representing their voters' intentions through voter fraud or non-citizen voting, and that it negatively affected their ability to hold office, what measure would they be willing to do to right that wrong? Well, we all know the answer because we witnessed it when the Democrats modified the Not So Affordable Care Act to get everything they wanted despite literally zero Republican support. So don't we have to ask ourselves, why would any Republican senator not be in favor of passing the Save America Act? Perhaps the only issue in decades that has vast bipartisan support from the American public. Do we truly have a two-party system, or is it a uniparty, as many claim? I guess we'll find out. America is either a representative republic or it's a banana republic. Republican senators that will finally disclose the truth to Americans. So which is it, Senator Thune? If you don't act, America will be almost impossible to recognize in 2028. To Vice President Vance, the real leader of the Senate, if Senator Thune won't do his job, you must step in as the true constitutional leader of the Senate and reinstate the talking filibuster. You must force every U.S. senator, Democrat and Republican, to go on record with the American people on where they stand on fair elections in the United States, where only U.S. citizens can vote. If the Save America Act passes, then there's hope for the future of our republic. If it doesn't get passed, despite the overwhelming support of over 80% of the American public, it will be interesting to watch incumbent senators from both sides of the aisle try to raise money from the same people they refuse to represent. To all those elected to serve, this is your moment. The American people are watching. They are not asking for perfection. They are asking for integrity. They are asking you to not act in the interest of party, but in the interest of country. Pass the Save America Act now. Thank you.
President Trump's courageous decision to redesignate Nigeria as a country particularly concerned for severe religious freedom violations. Wide sections of Nigeria are led by jihadists in titles which seek to wipe the globe of Christians and Jews, and their vile actions must be countered. Persecution defines nations like Nigeria, China, North Korea, Pakistan, and elsewhere. Thousands killed, millions displaced, churches and synagogues burned, and believers imprisoned simply because of their faith. We urge leaders of other countries to follow President Trump's example, impose stronger sanctions on persecuting governments, increase funding for global religious freedom initiatives, and ensure military and diplomatic tools are fully deployed to protect vulnerable believers. The crisis demands urgent, escalated action. No half measures when lives and eternal souls are at stake.
CPAC strongly demands the implementation of strict nationwide photo voter ID as the essential safeguard of election integrity and democracy. Requiring government-issued photo identification at the polls is not voter suppression, but common sense that every legitimate democracy uses to ensure only eligible citizens vote. Voter ID is the global standard, with 176 countries and jurisdictions requiring it. The few U.S. states that still refuse any voter ID requirement are all socialist, Democratic-controlled strongholds such as California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and Massachusetts, revealing exactly who benefits from weaker verification and eroded public trust.
All languages, all shades, and all ethnicities understand that you have to have voter ID to have democracy.
The conservative movement needs more than spectators. It needs warriors. At CPAC, you'll gain the tools, the connections, and the fire to make a difference. This is more than an internship. It's a frontline mission. If you're ready to challenge, to build, to fight for America's future, the time is now. Answer the call. Apply today.
And in this country, there's no reason that every person in this country is not wealthy. There's tremendous amounts of wealth here. There's no...
God bless America, the land of the free. Say a lot of you standing with me. God bless America, the home of the brave. All of the USA. God bless America, greatest country on earth. Don't care if you say it's the word. God bless America, the truth and the lies. Born here is where I'll die. God bless America, the land of the free. Say a lot of you standing with me. God bless America, the home of the brave. All of the USA. God bless America, greatest country on earth. Don't care if you say it's the word. God bless America, the truth and the lies. Born here is where I'll die.
Rav Family, Real America's Music has a new track to push to the top of the charts. God Bless America by High Res. Let's show the left we're proud to be Americans. Scan the QR code or search God Bless America on iTunes today.
Greatest country on earth, don't care if you say it's the word. God bless America, the truth and the lies. Born here is where I'll die.
Mercedes Viana Schlapp.
Go all the way down?
I
don't know. Wow, you guys still have energy? That's amazing. That's amazing.
Isn't my wife beautiful? Come on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
We've reached that point in CPAC where we're almost at complete spiritual and mental exhaustion. But we're going to hang in there because we have something really special to do. And I'm supposed to have a teleprompter that isn't working.
You might have to improvise, Schlapp.
So, Mercy, what do you have? Here we go. Okay, should we start over again? No, that's right. Okay, so do y'all like law enforcement? Do you think we should fully fund ICE? Does CPAC back the blue?
Yes.
All right, so this is the right time before we go any further. we want to recognize and thank those who have kept us safe, not only for years, but over the last few days. Local, state, and federal law enforcement officers who have been doing their duty right here in Grapevine, Texas.
That's right. Yes.
There we go.
And this year, especially their service, sacrifice, and professionalism, it deserves our gratitude, and now more than ever, our law enforcement, they need our support.
Come on, CPAC, put your hands together. Welcome to the stage. Grapevine Chief of Police Mike Hamlin and Deputy Chief of Police Mark Shimmick.
Good afternoon, everyone. And on behalf of the City of Grapevine, the Grapevine Police Department, welcome to Grapevine, Texas, and the great state of Texas. For the past 6 months, our department has been working closely with the CPAC team, our state, our local, and our federal law enforcement partners to ensure a safe and secure event for this community and for everyone here today and this week. Now, it has truly been an all-hands-on-deck effort, and we are proud to serve, we are proud to protect, and we are proud to help make this conference safe and successful. Now, but looking at this team behind me, I think we need one more person to help make it complete. And that's not just any person. Someone with courage, someone with heart, and someone with a serious commitment to service. So today it is my honor to welcome a very special guest. Please welcome our SWAT team, accompanied by DJ Daniel and his dad. Slide over here. Now, folks, we're fixing to swear DJ in. So, DJ, if you'll turn and raise your right hand, and if you'll repeat after me, and I'm going to go slow, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I, DJ Daniel.
I, DJ Daniel.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Or affirm.
Or affirm.
That I will faithfully.
That I will faithfully.
Execute the duties.
Execute the duties.
Of the office.
Of the office.
Of police officer.
A police officer
of the state of Texas.
Of the state of Texas.
And will.
And will.
To the best of my ability.
To the best of my ability.
Preserve.
Preserve.
Protect.
Protect.
And defend.
And defend.
The Constitution.
The Constitution.
And the laws.
And the laws.
Of the state of Texas.
And the state of Texas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Chief, I got a question.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorary Officer DJ Daniel. You can speak.
You notice that's a little bit too tall for me, right?
Say that again?
You notice a little bit too tall for me, right?
How about this?
I ain't trying to make fun of myself, but I'm like a little dwarf. Wow, I was not expecting for this many people to be here, especially my top favorite two people right here in the blue and the red.
We love you, TJ.
And my dad is here too. Oh, I just forgot to mention this. My other friends are over here, just to let you know. If you would like that, raise your hands. Because I don't like to leave nobody out, just saying. And I did say my dad is here. And just to remind y'all folks, I wouldn't be here if my dad didn't sign me up for experimental medicine. So can you do me a favor and give him a round of applause? You want to say, dude, you want to say it or you want me to say it?
Go ahead, you say it.
And my dad is running for District 18, just to let you know.
Smart boy. 147.
That's okay.
You want me to say the other part or no? And he's running against Jolanda Jones, the first, and she always puts out she's the first gay lesbian. Ain't nobody need to know about that. That's too much information.
I think that was too much for me.
Back to the script.
But Chief, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
After I get sworn in, did you bring the donuts? But the thing is, I want glazed donuts. I don't want powder donuts because I'm not trying to be looking like Dave Chappelle when he got pulled over.
Well, officer, there'll be time for donuts later, but we need to get to work.
Yeah, I don't even know why I said donuts because I'm getting a little bit chunky, as you can see.
All right, thank you, TJ.
Oh, and I forgot to mention my other friend is right here. If you would like to raise his hand, he's got the black cowboy hat.
All right, we're ready to go.
Ready to go to work? Let's go to work.
Yes, sir, but I got a question. You sure you're ready for this question? Because I'm pretty sure everybody gonna bust out laughing.
Let me have it.
How much are you paying me? Oh, I just realized this. There was no point in asking that question because I haven't got to work yet.
Let's get to work.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I thought I was getting sworn in. I didn't know this was America's Got Talent.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, say.
You ready to go to work?
We're gonna go.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
Stay with us. More CPAC USA 2026, only on Real America's Voice.
Hey, buddy. Morning. I'm a stickler for good dental care.
Me too.
Ooh, looking sharp today. But even if we take care of our teeth, we can still get...
No, please don't say it.
A big dental bill. That's why dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company is important. Now, this isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. It helps pay for over 400 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures.
That's a lot.
It's easy to find out more. Just call or go online now to get your free information kit with all the details. This dental insurance helps you pay for routine care and expensive major procedures, all with no deductibles and no annual maximums. You can even keep your dentist. Why pay more for dental care? Get your free info kit and start saving today. Call or visit physiciansmutualdental.com. Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
This was the last thing my Charlie ever wrote. The message of Jesus changes everything, changes your life, your choices, your eternity. And Charlie wanted to leave behind something that would point people to Christ, not to fame or power, just truth.
If everything completely goes away, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing. The most important thing is my faith in my life.
And my husband called his final book, Stop in the Name of God, because resting in God's grace is what our world has forgotten to do. So just stop and listen, believe and rest, because this is Charlie's final and greatest message to all of us.
I'm actually finishing a book. So I actually don't work one day out of the week. So I take a Sabbath every Saturday. Turn my phone off, no work, just kids, just family. It's an amazing blessing. Every Saturday, totally off. It's amazing how much work you can get done in 6 days, though.
I believe that honoring the Sabbath is the commandment that allows you to honor the other 9 commandments. When you're honoring the Sabbath, it's easier to have no other gods before God because that day is built in time as a temple, as a sanctuary to put God first, to not have idols.
If you are feeling overrun by society, you might be feeling depressed or anxious, turn your phone off for one day. No social media, no work. Your mental health will improve dramatically. You can hang out with friends, you can go for a walk, but don't work for one day. That is a day for worship. That is a day for the Lord. That is a day to go be with God. That is a day to read your Bible and be out of the busyness and the hurriedness and the noise of this world. I could be traveling for 5 or 6 days, but if I at least get one good Sabbath with my family, it charges all back up.
Call, scan, or go online to support TPUSA and receive your copy of Charlie's final book.
Live from CPAC USA 2026 in Texas, this is Real America's Voice.
Everything they said about him has been wrong. I don't know how he does it.
It has always been a battle against Donald Trump.
The reason why we want him as president is because he's not stuck in this kind of bureaucratic machination.
He was very clear. If you hit your target, you were golden, and you could work and work and work and do a great job.
Trump does the same thing in a different medium. He's talking directly to the American people.
That's why Trump is transformational, because he kind of came outside the Republican Party.
He's a great closer. He understands what the most important issues are to voters.
Not only is America a great country, but that we Americans are good people.
Donald Trump stands for everything that's good, everything that we need, what needs to be changed in our society today.
Think about that Trump supporter that was demonized, that was taken down, that was criticized, that was targeted. Think about that person out there. That is the one. They are winning tonight. The American people, they've spoken up tonight.
We've just lived through history. We're never going to see anything like this ever again.
And in this country, there's no reason that...
They feed you headlines, cut the frame, say it loud enough, call it fact. Change the words, dodge the blame, sell the lie, then double back.
From Real America's Music, the label that brought you Anthem of the Free, The Boss, and Somali Wall, comes a brand new anthem built for a distrustful age. Truth Bomb by the Truth Bombers. Talks about distrust of institutions, media manipulation, shifting government narratives, big tech censorship, cancel culture, and ideological silencing. The culture needs a truth bomb, and this track delivers. Download it now. Scan the QR code or search Truth Bomb by the Truth Bombers on iTunes. We've broken records before. Let's do it again together.
Please welcome CPAC board member Jim McLaughlin and CPAC chairman, the Honorable Matt Schlapp.
Here.
All right, Jim, this is our annual showing of the numbers. What do the people of CPAC think?
Yep, and look, first of all, I want to thank you for filling out the poll. We had a record number of people this time, Matt, actually take the poll during a non-presidential year. So the response is just incredible.
Do you have to have ID to vote in the CPAC straw poll?
You have to have ID.
Good.
And we check ID.
Good.
Unlike, by the way, I've heard rumors, some of these other straw polls, you can vote multiple times in them, not in the CPAC straw poll.
And let it be known that ICE was on the spot when we conducted our CPAC straw poll. There's nothing wrong with that.
And then some, and then some. So with all that being said, just so you know, we had over 1,600 people actually do the CPAC straw poll. And like I said, that was a record turnout. And it's always great to have your voices be heard. So with all that being said, you know, it's funny. We're in our little bubble here at CPAC. Look at some of the things the media has been saying about us, okay? This is going to be really interesting. The fake news, what they've been telling us about us. Republicans turn on Trump at CPAC. Can't stand the guy. The war in Iran is driving generational divide between MAGA men at CPAC. Are we seeing that? And this one was good. The Republican divide on Iran. Trump's decision to go to war loomed over the Conservative Political Action Conference. The confab has often served as a sort of MAGA pep rally with near universal support for Trump and his agenda. But this year, the conference laid bare the rift among Trump's MAGA base over the Middle East conflict.
And that's from the Wall Street Journal.
So with that being said, by the way, this next question, I'm going to rat you out here. This was Matt's question. And what we said to folks is many supposed conservative leaders and influencers are creating unnecessary controversy and division in the MAGA movement in order to get the attention and make money, which will hurt the conservative movement. President Trump and real MAGA conservatives in November in the political elections. So what folks are thinking right now is the media is telling us there's all this dissension, there's all this divide. What do you guys tell us? You agree with that? You agree not that there's dissension, not that there's divide, but the truth is they're trying to sabotage America First and Republicans in the upcoming elections. You folks are way smarter than the media is, and then some.
This is why, Jim, what's our theme? Actions over words, and that's why you've been hearing from speakers like Keith Self and Fighting Sharia in Texas who are getting stuff done.
All right, we're going back. I just gave it away. There I go again. But they're telling us Donald Trump is unpopular with CPAC. They're telling us he's unpopular with conservatives. 96% approval rating. 84% strongly. When Matt goes to dinner, okay, with his wife and his 5 daughters, he doesn't get a 96% approval rating.
Never.
Not even close.
No.
And you look at it, it's just incredible the support that President Trump maintains in spite of what we're being told by the quote-unquote talking heads. It really makes me wonder what some of these quote-unquote MAGA people are actually thinking. I think at the end of the day, they're really not MAGA people. They're liars. All right? So how do they feel about the job that our vice president is doing? 92% approve. 78% strongly approve. So excellent numbers. And again, you don't see that, trust me. Back in the old days when we used to do CPAC straw polls, you know, the Bushes and whatnot, they didn't have numbers like this. I mean, it's not even close. All right, so where are we with Speaker Johnson? 84% approve, 9% disapprove, 55% strongly. And look, it's a tough job being a leader in Congress. The fact that among the base, the Speaker has an 84% approval rating says a lot about the job he's doing. Now next, Leader Thune. 57% approve, 29% disapprove.
We kind of know what that's about.
Okay. All right. You know, so we're getting there. All right. This was one of my favorite questions. And we gave you a first and second choice. We said, who were your favorite members of the cabinet? Who? By the way, I could always just walk around here and I could get a pretty darn.
You don't actually have to do the straw poll to know what's going on.
Marco Rubio. Pretty amazing. 60% said he was either their first or second choice as most favorite member of the cabinet. Then you have Pete Hegseth at 35%, RFK Jr. at 18, Scott Bessent 14, you have Tulsi at 11, Pam Bondi at 9. Interesting stuff. You know, top 5, you got a couple former Democrats.
I was going to say, top 5, you got 2 former Democrats, 2 people who CPAC recognized first and invited them to the dance first, and they're doing a great job.
Not to mention top 7, 3 women. It talks about the diversity and the openness of the conservative movement, and then some. All right, which leftist? This was another one of Matt's questions, which I kind of like. Which one of the leftists do you think are the most articulate?
Who's the most articulate leftist?
You know what I thought was interesting? 19, you got a lot of people saying unsure and none. So, what was that? I'm not going to repeat that one.
We could have asked you for what is the best adjective for the most articulate leftist.
And then so.
You could have won that.
So they're saying Gavin Newsom, Zohran Mamdani. By the way, as you can probably tell by the accent, I live in the New York area. It is amazing the ride that the New York City press gives Zohran Mamdani. They think he's wonderful. Poor New Yorkers and then some. All right, now I've heard this rumor, Matt. There's actually a U.S. Senate race here in Texas, a U.S. Senate primary.
There is, yeah, there is. And does the Senate really matter these days? I mean, is there any important legislation before it?
These people tell us the Senate actually matters, and then some. We're going to get to that, too, in a little bit. But all right.
How did it go when we asked those questions?
And by the way, the only way you could vote is if you were a resident of Texas. And here's how it went. Ken Paxton, 67. John Cornyn, 21.
So we told you that we played it fair. He came out.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
It must be nice to get a standing ovation before anyone's even said your name. But you know, we played it fair. We invited you and your opponent, the incumbent, John Cornyn, to speak at CPAC. We put out your voting records. You have 100% voting record in our CPAC scorecard. You showed up to CPAC just like you showed up to every major fight that Texas has had, that every major fight Donald Trump had, literally for decades. And so it's my honor as the chairman of CPAC and Jim's honor as one of our board members to say we officially endorse Ken Paxton to be the next senator in Texas.
Thank you. Congratulations. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank all of you for that endorsement, because that's really what it's all about. It's about the people of Texas, and the people of Texas wanting somebody that's going to represent them. And I think it's indicative of the problem with John Cornyn that he wouldn't come to what I think is the largest grassroots event in the last year in Texas, and he wouldn't even show up. That's the first problem. And I think you can see the second problem occurred just in the last week or so, when they and actually it just happened, they left for recess without passing the Save America Act or funding